Now, Lieutenant Baird, begin with the last time we saw each other.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Gears of War Judgment Insane Difficulty video walkthrough. This is Section 4, Windward Way. So the declassified mission on this one is that locusts are going to spawn from behind you periodically throughout your traversal of this mission. And this is me waiting for an emergence hole that never turns up. That baffles me, that just there. The wretch blew out of the ground, and there was the plume, wasn't there? There was the plume geyser of spray showing something projecting, and then the wretch climbed. Is that guy a geriatric wretch? How does that work? You've got this fancy spawn animation and it does the first thing and then doesn't do the second thing. I thought that was hilarious. But this mission's not too bad, and it's not too bad because you can exploit one part of it, and the part you can exploit is the post-checkpoint. So get used to shooting armaments. There's a sequence coming up later where you have to shoot quite a lot of them, or you can mantle over, and it opens up a big hole in this game. If you have one panel of chest-high wall, regardless of what it is, your character cannot jump over it. He will go left or right, but he will never go over, and I don't get it. I don't know if it's because the fortifications were there. I'm not entirely sure what is working, but there's some kind of restriction on the system where the character will always prioritise going around the cover rather than over it. And it seems bizarre to me. Seems really bizarre, but lots of things seem bizarre to me, so that's just how it works. But this sequence here, you do not have to mantle over this to trigger the fight. Your team will trigger the fight, and then you can stay back here and you can kill as much as possible. But I mentioned on the previous video that 4% of people beat Mass Effect 3 on Insanity. And I find that a staggering figure. And the reason I say this is, just look at the track record of game design. The market has constantly strove to, well, should I say, the game design docs have changed to reflect the way the consumers are taking in content. You know, they've sacrificed the game to get microtransactions. They've sacrificed, the credibility, the integrity of franchises to get really kind of cheap moves in there so that it benefits the people that make them, the publishers, so that they can get more money out of us. They put co-op in Dead Space halfway through the development cycle because they were told to buy the publisher, and all of these were in direct relation to trying to get better sales because certain things sell better than others. Take the horror out, make it more actiony because that's what the consumer wants. 10% of people might buy horror games, 90% of people might buy action games. Let's make it an action game, It's the make it Call of Duty-fication of every other game series to try and hit the same numbers that Activision gets, and it happens a lot. And it makes me think that if only 4% of people are beating difficulties on the hardest, will it get to the point where they don't waste the time of making difficulty? I hope not, obviously, because I think the challenge setting on a game is the very reason that it keeps it balanced. It exists for very different demographics, as that statistic proves. 4% of people like a challenge. 96% of people are either put off or don't have the time or just don't want to even face a challenge. It's an interesting debate, and it's weird, man. I find it so weird because I don't know, maybe it's just a personal thing. It's all preference in the end. It's just, why would you not want to get all the money out of the game as you physically could? Sure, if it gets too hard, don't do it. But, and I mean, the statistic might be a lot of people that tried it but couldn't do it because, when I was younger, I used to give up on games all the time. I used to give up sometimes before I'd even tried. And I can understand that mentality because it takes a very specific type of person to get beat and brutalized by a game and continue to try. Not everybody has that. Not everybody wants to have that. But it just, It rubs me the wrong way, and when I saw that stat, I just found it hilarious. It's so crazy. But thanks for watching, and you take care now.